this public school system that just is dooming them to failure, and that is a travesty to me. We've got to do something about that to get private education, vouchers, they call them ESAs, to get around the Constitution. But that is the only thing I believe that's going to correct our educational situation.
I really appreciate what he just said, because one of my major priorities has always been to do something about our desperately inadequate, failing education system. The first thing I would say, though, however, is my priority is to stop the tripling of our property taxes. So that's not a new bill, but that would be to stop that, because if they pass it next session and it goes on the ballot, that will destroy Nevada families and it will destroy Nevada business. However, in choice in education, which the Assemblyman just talked about, I think it's very important to realize that Nevada passed Common Core. And what that has done is given us an education system that is a D rating. We have got to abandon that and reinstitute world-class standards, which are available on the internet, like from Massachusetts in English and reading arts, and from California in math. But we can't repeal the commerce tax unless we do something to lessen the cost of education and other problems. So instituting choice in education, like Assemblyman said, through educational savings accounts and other things have shown to greatly increase academic success. Our state has spent all this money on a failed education system. However, my main priority is maintaining our individual liberties and rights, which are now in jeopardy, like the right to keep and bear arms. So we must do that first and foremost. Long term, we must do something about educational choice and improving that. And certainly, we can't do anything about repealing the commerce tax until we've cut the money that's now being spent under the commerce tax, because you can't repeal it and then not fund that government. And of course, I'm for less government, but you're going to have to decide what those are, and one of those is choice in education that can reduce the exorbitant cost of education, which is a total and complete failure. It's child abuse. Education in our state is child abuse.
Well, what I'd say is when I become a lieutenant governor, it would be more than one bill. I don't think any one of us up here would be satisfied with just pushing out one bill. And so I agree that the top three easily are commerce tax. The second one is the ESAs. I mean, we all have an obligation to our families, and truly have an obligation to my own kids. And I understand the importance of the ESA program as well. And yes, we're looking at the property tax issue coming. And we start looking at the removing of the depreciation in that bill, it gets pretty ugly. So I would agree those would be the top three.
You know where I am with taxes, right? Okay. Common Core's got to go. Commerce tax got to go. Our educational system is what, 48 out of 50 now? I believe in getting back to reading, writing, arithmetic, history. They're getting rid of our history, folks. And by the 8th grade, they should know, study, and know the Constitution by the time they graduate 8th grade, because that will stop, I'm for term limits. That will stop term limits right there. I was raised Catholic. They taught us we had to know the Constitution by 8th grade, so that's why I'm here, because I want to put a stop to anything that's unconstitutional. I understand that, hey, that's unconstitutional, okay? So our children must be taught that Constitution must be mandatory, because by the time they get to our age, and when they get out of high school, they go into business, they'll understand what term limits mean. We won't need term limits. They will say, you out.
Yes, my response is more in accord with Janine, personal rights. And that is also in the Constitution, that we have that our castle, our home is our castle. The government has no right to dictate what goes on inside our homes. Therefore, in accord with the duty of the Lieutenant Governor of bringing tourists to the state, to be able to open up our homes and host tourists in our homes would eliminate this problem of losing $1 billion as was lost last year. And that doesn't even count keeping pace with the growth of tourism all over the world. We should have millions more tourists in this city now, and that money should be the people should have access to that money. And it's so ironic that the Democrats, who are always preaching, oh, we want the people to forget these corporations, they were the ones who opposed Uber. And how would we be without Uber today? Would we be able to get the transportation from our home? No, we'd have to wait hours. And who knows when the taxi company would send a taxi to us. The Democrats are totally devoted to corporations. They're totally devoted to the taxi companies. They're total captives of the resort industry. And as Brent says, that's what the Chamber of Commerce is today here in Clark County. And so I would say forbid any infringement on people's rights to do what they want inside the house. Yes, if they keep the neighbors awake all night, yes, they should be punished for that. They should be fined. The neighbors should be compensated, all that. But that's a minor detail. The major thing that goes on, people want to meet each other. When you go to another country, you want to meet the people that live in that country. And the people that come here want to meet locals. They don't just want to go to casinos where everything is programmed. So that would be the law that I would pick. And of course there are many others, but they're not so in accord with the job of the Lieutenant Governor. Thank you.
I would like to thank all of our candidates for Lieutenant Governor that were here today. I'd like to thank Ed Uehling, Gary Meyers, Eugene Hoover, Janine Hansen, and Brent Jones. Appreciate Metropolitan International, the people that are going to be listening and watching this broadcast. Appreciate you giving your time today, and we'd like to thank all the panel members here and all the time they spent, and everyone associated with Veterans and Politics International. And wish everyone a happy Easter. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.